Steve from Watch the Throne, and today we're going to talk about what it's like to live with a Breakbeats kit. Alright, so first off, you probably already know about this kit, all the specs, all the information about it. You've probably seen it in other videos or read online, so we're going to skip all that and jump right to what it's really like to own one of these kits long term and to use it every day. Now, this kit is my apartment practice kit, so it's obviously here in my apartment, and it is outfitted all with Remo Silent Stroke heads. I actually just got the 16-inch bass drum head today in the mail, so I've been waiting to do this review until then. But I've been using the kit now for a couple months, and it's absolutely worked perfectly for what I'm using it for here as this kind of an apartment kit, right? The Silent Stroke heads are actually really silent. Not too loud at all. They still feel pretty good too. They're kind of a weird mix between a traditional head and what would be like a Roland mesh head. They feel a little bit more like real drum heads, I think probably because of the size than a Roland mesh head would. But they don't really necessarily feel like real heads, but it's not bad to practice on and play on. And with my kit here, I actually have it linked up with some Roland triggers, which go to the Roland SPD-SX. One for some kind of live performance, live electronic drumming kind of stuff they like to do, but also I can put the headphones on and trigger what would be an acoustic kit through the SPD-SX and kind of get somewhat of an electronic kit out of this. Now, as far as real kits go, using this as a real gig kit or a practice kit, I did actually use it for a little bit with the standard non-Silent Stroke heads. And I must say, for what it is and what it's designed to do, it's actually a great option. And for the price point, there's really nothing better. The drums themselves are actually pretty well built. For this price segment, the $500 and under, smaller size, kind of portable drum set, this is definitely the best in the market, I think. It's definitely the best looking. The Sonar Safaris and those Bob kits that they make now are a great option as well. They're pretty much in the same price point and offer a lot of similar features and finishes. But for whatever reason, I think this Ludwig is probably just the best bet. I'm also a big fan of Questlove, so I think that helps too. But this one is finished in the Azure Blue. I think that's the official name for it. If not, it's something blue. This might have been a Guitar Center exclusive. I actually bought this secondhand down in New York City. But the kit itself, all the hardware is actually held up really well. It's a light kit for the most part, so the hardware does feel a little lighter than maybe some other more middle line kits, but that's kind of all part of the purpose of this kit, right? It's supposed to be a little bit lighter. They obviously cut back on some of the costs for the kit with the hardware. So again, for the purpose of the drums, they do a great job. They're not gonna move, they don't feel cheesy or childish when you play them. They feel like real kit, and it's because it is a real kit. As far as portability goes, the bags that come with the kit are basically just really thin drawstring nylon bags, and if I'm honest, they're not really doing much for you. They don't really make it much easier to carry. They don't really do much as far as protecting the drums, actually nothing really. And to be honest, I wasn't a big fan of them at all. I've used them a couple times and I decided just to kind of put them aside. And I do have a soft set of typical drum bags for this drums if I ever need to bring it anywhere. But its purpose is pretty much just to stay here in the apartment for me to play on. That being said, talking about using the kit with real heads, sound-wise, there's tons of videos and reviews and stuff you can check out. The kit is actually a pretty decent sounding little kit, especially if you play, if you're looking for that kind of more Bob style sound, whether you're playing some live hip hop, you're playing some funk, or if you just need a kit just for small clubs, if you're in the city or if you're in a major city that you need something you can put into a small car or keep in an apartment, this is by far probably the best option. As far as other practice I have traditional cymbals here, and I have actually the old practice mitts I used to use on my last apartment drum set before I got the mesh heads. I had these, mouse pad style thick foam pads, which do a pretty good job on the kit. I think as far as comparing them to the Silent Stroke heads, I think they're called the sound off pads. They do a pretty similar job in deadening the sound. As far as overall volume of the drums, they're pretty much the same. But what I did find the big difference is because these are foam, when you hit the drum with the standard head on underneath it, it actually passes a lot of low end still. So the drum sound you hear is mostly low end, and of course low end travels. So if you're in an apartment and you're on the second floor like I am, your neighbors are going to get a lot of that low end noise, and that's not really ideal. The opposite is the case with these mesh heads. Really don't pass any low end at all. So the sound doesn't really travel. I'm just kind of hearing the drums here in the apartment, but it's no louder than maybe me tapping on something around the house. It's not too bad. As far as on cymbals go, this is a 21-inch Sabian hand-hammered raw bell dry ride, the Phil Collins edition. And I have it here in my rehearsal space, or my apartment rehearsal space, I guess. And with the mesh, with the sound off pad on here, it's just as loud as. Now, of course, this is not as good as playing real cymbal. That's not really the purpose of this kit. This is just for me to kind of practice some movements, practice some chops and stuff, play along some songs while I'm here in my apartment. But as far as deadening the sound goes, you're not going to find anything less than that. These are actually even a lot quieter than those Zildjian Z80 or L80 low volume cymbals. They still kind of have a loud pinginess to them. They're still really quiet, but they're pretty pingy. This is very quiet. As far as hi-hats go, I have a standard set of hi-hats. These are Sabian HHX Evolution 13-inch hi-hats, the Dave Weckl ones. And what I did was I took one of those, I think it was a 14-inch sound off pad, cut a small hole in it, and put it between the two hi-hats. So your actual hi-hat foot noise is muted. And then I took what I believe was an 8 or a 10-inch sound off pad, and I cut a small hole near the top of it and put it through the clutch on the hi-hat so it lays perfectly over to the edge of the hi-hat. So when I play it, that's the loudest they're going to be. And the nice thing, again, like I said with the mesh heads, there's not a whole lot of low-end transference through the stand. So despite these drums being on a pretty thick carpet, a lot of the low-end stays right here. It's not being transferred to my neighbors, which is always good. So again, the whole kit, as far as volume goes, you hear how loud I'm talking at a very normal volume right now. The kit, all around, sounds like this. Now with the snares on, it is a lot louder. For just the sake of noise, I do keep the snare off. It makes no difference to me if I have headphones on anyway. Not too bad. And the cymbals. To compare that to something else you might have, or be familiar with the sound volume of, that's a Roland SPD-SX, and it's actually the loudest part of this kit, believe it or not. So it's all pretty similar. So again, quick recap of the kit. It's a great small portable kit if you're looking for a rehearsal kit, a kit to leave in your car, or a kit to leave in your apartment or home to practice on, or to bring to rehearsals, or to bring to small gigs or something like that. It's a fantastic option. If you're playing a lot of funk or R&B or hip hop stuff, or playing jazz stuff, where the sizes kind of really work best, it's a great option as well. The factory Remo pinstripe heads that come with it sound really good. I'm an Evans head guy myself, so I actually have a set of G2 clears I use on this kit if I were to use real heads. But it sounds good. I mean, it's a poplar shell, so it's really not gonna be the most magnificent sounding drum set. Again, that's not really the purpose of it. It's designed to be fairly portable and a small compact kit, right? Now I have it set up here as kind of a super silent practice set. It works out fantastically. The whole kit is very quiet. It's no louder than basically any housework I'll be doing around the house, whether it be vacuuming or whatever. So it's not really too bad to annoy my neighbors, and I don't have to worry about practicing certain hours a day. I can sit here and practice and play at 2 o'clock in the morning like I usually do. This kit is just here in my apartment. I can jam on it whenever I want, and that's pretty much that. So if you want more information about the kit and stuff I'm using, make sure to check out the description below. I will link off all the additional things I purchased for this kit, so you can check them out yourself. And this was the first video for this channel, first review video. So if you like what you see, if you want to see some more stuff, please make sure you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, and we'll hopefully get some more stuff very soon. Thanks, guys.